What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. I do hope you are doing well. This is the second time of recording this because, like an idiot, I forgot to turn my microphone on in the first video. So apologies. Well, it's not apologies because you won't know that unless I tell you. On the right-hand side of the screen here, you'll see the QR code for my niece's Race for Life for Cancer Research UK. There will be a link in the description below as well. So if you can, nobody's under any obligation to, but if you can, please give generously. That would be greatly appreciated. I'd really like to be able to help her out as much as we possibly can do. So, like I said, anything that you can give, nobody's under any obligation to do so, but thank you. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you're not subscribed, please make sure that you are. Turn your notifications on. Make sure that you're commenting, liking, hyping, all of that good stuff. Again, that just really helps. But just thank you as well for the recent support over the videos. It's been really nice. I try to interact with as many comments and stuff as I can. I think it's important to, because without you guys commenting and liking the video and stuff, this channel's nothing. So I genuinely really appreciate it. So thank you for that, guys. Today's video, a little bit late with the news on this one, but we're talking about Meslier leaving and also as well new contracts in the offing. So if we start with the new contracts thing, so the retained list came out yesterday. And it would appear that Alex Cairns and also Sam Byron are currently in negotiations with a view to new contracts. Now, if you know, with regards to Byron's case, he is looking to play more football. He feels like he's got a lot to give and wants to be able to give a lot to our team. And it's just whether or not he is going to be satisfied maybe playing second fiddle again, not playing as much football for a season when he could maybe drop down to the Championship and play a little bit more football. So it remains to be seen with that. Alex Cairns, I really like the idea of him being given a new contract. What I would like to see for him, and I'm in agreement with Jer for this one, is I'd really like to see him move on to being a coach at the club. I think he's built for it. He's a really good figure to have around the dressing room as well, by all accounts. Really nice guy, confident. And I've seen some of his stuff on Instagram with his coaching academies that he does for goalkeeping and stuff. So it would be really nice to see that happen. So yeah, it was a surprise for me that they were looking at offering Byram a new contract. So we'll just have to wait and see how that one turns out and how it all materialises. But we now move on to the quote unquote Meslier situation. So he is set to leave at the end of this season. So that would be, I think, the end of June for the official end of season. So the end of this month will be when he looks to leave as a free agent. And, you know, the last game of the season, he was sat in the penalty area at the Kop end, sort of having a bit of a look around, very reflective. And it does genuinely feel sad because it's a shame that it went the way that it did. You know, I and many others thought when he burst onto the scene that he was going to be, you know, the next number one keeper for Leeds United for absolutely years to come. His distribution, his shot stopping, all of that good stuff looked absolutely fantastic. I mean, he was an absolute beanpole of a goalkeeper when he first came in, and you know, people forget that he's been here for 7 years. For 7 years he's been here, and he spent a very large proportionate chunk of his career at Leeds United. He's not peaked yet by any stretch of the imagination. That's still to come. And, you know, it's just, I guess it's a little bit sad because of the way that it went. You know, he came onto the scene, looked absolutely fantastic, did unbelievably well in his first season in the Premier League. And it just kind of went a little bit downhill from there with confidence and mistakes. You know, we all remember things like Hull, things like Sunderland, all of that. I'm going to say good stuff, but it wasn't. But we remember all of those situations, and I think we look at everything with, you know, with our own rose-tinted glasses sometimes with certain situations with players. And, you know, he deserves a little bit of love and respect as far as I'm concerned. I've got nothing against him. I think he's a great guy. I think he should have left in the summer last year, but for whatever reason, we couldn't get him over the table. I don't know if that was down to the contract that he was already on, and a lot of people weren't happy with the way that he kind of sat on his contract, but he wasn't the one that gave himself that contract. It was the club that gave him that contract. It was previous owners that gave him that contract. So there is, sadly, it's not his fault. He's like I say, he's a nice guy. In essence, I've seen him in the West End a couple of times, and just he is genuinely a nice guy. He takes time to speak to people, all of that good stuff, and yeah, it's just a shame. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to just talk about some of his top 5 moments, if you like. So going from 5 to number 1. So a chap called Declan Carr on X did a piece that's gone on to MOT Leeds News, just talking about his top 5 moments in the league for us, and there were some good times. There were some very, very good times. So he had an incredible debut versus Arsenal in January 2020. He was thrown in at the deep end when he made his debut. He started the FA Cup third round contest with Arsenal in 2020, and he earned rave reviews. His distribution and his shot stopping were all highlighted as things that were particularly good, and all of us thought that we had an absolute beast on our hands. Like I said, his nickname was the Iceman. His outstanding showing versus Sheffield United in September 2020. He put in a brilliant showing against Sheffield United in September. The supporters won't forget anytime soon. He made a series of point-blank saves, including one from John Lundstrom in a man-of-the-match display. It was the LS11 side's first clean sheet of the campaign as well, and laid the foundations for a 9th place finish in the top flight. 9-save masterclass versus Liverpool. This is one of my most favouriteest things about Meslier, massively. We managed to secure a 2-1 win at Anfield. It wouldn't have been possible without Meslier in that game. He made 9 saves against Liverpool, and he was named man of the match. We all remember the end of that game. Somerville scores the winner late on, which moved us out of the relegation zone. It's that kind of that false dawn situation that we all remember really, really well. He also set a clean sheet record in 2020, 2021. This is the number 2 top moment for him. He became the youngest ever goalkeeper to record 11 clean sheets in the 2020-2021 Premier League season, massively again enhancing his reputation that he would be the shot stopper at Ellen Road for years to come. And as we said, it hasn't worked out that way. He also got the Championship Golden Glove in 2023-2024. He kept 18 clean sheets that season. The fact that we didn't go up that season still really rankles with me, but he did everything that he could do to get us up and get us up into the position that we wanted to be in. I'm also mindful of, and it's the picture that I've used for the thumbnail for this video, that absolutely ridiculous save against Leicester, where the ball, for all intents and purposes, looks like it's going over the line, but he manages to claw it out and make sure that it doesn't go over the line. He had some incredibly good moments. He's had some unbelievable highs at Leeds United, but then at the same time, he's had incredible lows as well. You know, the club were culpable for not selling him in the summer, so that that's something that the club need to get better at. It's his age, the length of time he's been at Leeds. People forget how long he's been at Leeds as well, but it's just a shame that like I said, that it's worked out the way that it's done. That situations and things have happened to come into the way that have made everything go the way that it's gone. It's just, like I say, it's a real shame, but I've got nothing but admiration for him. I know how tough it can be when you're suffering mental fragility, and people forget that at times, but, was he left in the side a little bit too long on a couple of occasions? Yeah, more than likely, but just overall, I try to remember the real positive things, and for me, the positive stuff that he did far outweighs some of the negative stuff that he did, although at the time it was pretty calamitous, some of the negative stuff that he did. I'm still grateful that we got to see somebody, from a keeper point of view, sort of flourish to a certain degree, but like I said, the drop-off was alarming with him, so I just wish him every success. Got no ill will to him whatsoever at all, and I hope he goes on to really, really good things. He manages to resurrect his career, for want of a better phrase, and just goes on to, like I say, really, really good things. So I appreciate everything that you've done for us, Illan. Thank you. It's going to do it for this one, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to click the like button. If you're new to the channel, please also don't forget to subscribe. Make sure your notifications are turned on. Make sure you're liking and hyping the video for me as well. If you're listening on the audio, so if you're listening either on Spotify or on Apple, just make sure you're either following one or the other and you're liking it for me as well. Again, that would be greatly appreciated. Take care of each other. Most importantly, please take care of yourself. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take it easy. Much love. Cheers.